Okay, we are going to get started. Welcome everyone to today's webinar on translation management. Today you will hear from Andrew Thomas, GIM Evangelist at SDL. Andrew will explain how a translation management system manages the process of taking approved content, localizing it, and making it available for a global audience, automating many manual processes and driving the reuse of existing multilingual assets. This webinar is part of a 7-webinar series on global information management. To register for other upcoming webinars or view recordings of those that have passed, please visit sdl.com/events. I'm Jenny Forsay, and I'll be your moderator today. As we're waiting for a few more attendees to join, I'd like to go over a couple housekeeping items. All of your lines have been placed on mute to avoid any background noise interference. The presentation portion of this webinar will last about 25 minutes and will be followed by a Q&A session. If you have a question, please enter it in the Q&A box in the right-hand corner of your screen. If you are in full screen mode, click on the question mark icon on the toolbar in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. We are recording this session, and you'll be notified by email when it is available for download. And now, I'll pass it off to Andrew to begin his presentation. Andrew?
Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be joining us today. I apologize in advance. My allergies are acting up today, so if you hear any coughing or sneezing, please forgive me. So as Ginny mentioned, we are going to talk about translation management today. For those of you that may have just joined us for this webinar, I'll quickly recap SDL, our background, also talk a little bit about global information management and what that means. But then we'll dive right into translation management, really try to define what the localization problem is, give you a good overview of our translation management system, talk about a specific case study, and then hopefully have some time left over to take any questions that you might have. SDL has been around for quite a while, for the past 16 years or so. We are a publicly traded company. We do have offices scattered throughout the world, and we do, of course, have some of the industry-leading technology under our roof that's used by about 80% of the globalization supply chain. So we think that gives us a pretty good advantage of being able to understand what kind of challenges companies are facing today when it comes to managing their global information. We've had proven success. We've got 41 of the top 50 global brands that work with us and use our technology. 9 of the top 10 global companies depend on us for both services and technology. And as you can see here, these are very recognizable brands. So, and they're also obviously very global brands. These are all companies that have a significant global footprint. So, as we see it, some of the challenges that businesses are facing today, they're pretty standard challenges, and they're the kind of challenges that businesses have known about for a long time when it comes to their domestic market. But they're finally starting to think about these challenges from a global perspective. So, of course, time to market always matters, whether it's a product or a service that you're delivering. And entering brand new markets is very time and cost heavy. And entering those new markets oftentimes requires localization because the new market would be an area that probably does not speak your language. And of course, you also have to worry about making sure that you're consistent with whatever legal requirements are for that new market. You want to enhance your customer experience overall. Companies have found that by keeping their customers happy, they're going to lower the amount of support costs that they have because people either they understand the instructional documentation that was included and they don't have to call support, or they can go online and look at a knowledge-based article without having to talk directly with a human, which is, of course, very costly for companies to maintain. And then companies also want to maintain their global brand identity and keep a very consistent message. Marketing spends a lot of time trying to figure out how the company should be positioned And if you don't maintain that, then customers get confused. They don't exactly know what your company is offering to them. So it's very important to keep some decent control around how your brand and message is delivered to your customers.